Okay, people, just back from a screening of The Monkey, right? Oh my days. Oh my days. Right? So this, as I don't know, you might know, right? If you don't, it's written and directed by Osgood Perkins, right? Oz Perkins. The film is produced by Chris Ferguson, Dave Kaplan, Brian Kavanagh Jones, and James Wan. It is executive produced by Nancy Zhu, Jason Ward, Emily Thomas, Judson Scott, Teddy Schwartzman, Jesse Savaf, Peter Safran, Natalia Safran, John Rickard, Tom Quinn, Owen Kwan, Sarah W. Price, Andy Price, Christian Parks, Peter Liu, Ali Jazeri, Michael Himmler, David Gendron, Ryan Frisicki, John Friedberg, Liz Destro, Chris Cole, Michael Clear, Amani Carson, and Fred Berger. It is co-produced by Marliana Ma, right? And it is co-executive produced by Connor Purcell, Simon Misselbrook, Andy Levine, and Juliana Bertuzzi, right? With line productions from Jonathan Dubois. Okay. So Edo Van Bremen was on the music. Nico Aglier is behind the camera, cinematography. It's edited by Graham 14 and Greg Nook. Rick Delia and Aaron Lally handled the casting. Production design is Danny Vermette. All right, Brendan Meganetti is art direction. Set decoration is Trevor Johnson. Micah Cade is costume design. Hair and makeup, we got Lilia Afashi. Right? We also have to give a huge big up to Edward J. Douglas, right? Because he's on the VFX for this one. Man, right? I'll come back to that. So the film. When twin brothers Bill and Hal find their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. So that's the film, man. That's the film. I was so excited to see this, right? So excited because Ed, my boy Ed, the one and only Edward J. Douglas, was doing VFX, right? Now, I thought Longlegs was great, right? So obviously, I was looking forward to the next Osgood Perkins joint, but man, when I knew my boy Ed was taking care of the VFX, I was going to be there regardless. This could have been Bridgerton the film, right? And if Ed was doing the VFX, I'm watching it. You know what I mean? And I don't give a fuck about Bridgerton, people. You know what I mean? But man, it's like we have spoken to Ed, right? We've spoken to Ed about his the films he's worked on, right? He did visual effects for Hellmark. Remember, we took a look at Hellmark, which was, a really fun short film. And Ed, he had what was Ed's films? Ed's films were oh man, for the life of me, I cannot think of the names because it was a fitness. It was like a running one. I mean, he did visual effects for Alienation, which we took a look at. You Run, that was it. You Run. He did You Run and Swiped, and we spoke to Ed about those because he showed them at Sci-Fi London. So man, homie is mad talented, and he is just when you look at the films he is working on, man, it's so great to see that everyone is recognizing that talent. But okay, the film, yeah, the monkey is, boy, it is good. Oh my days. Yeah, people, we haven't done the cast. We haven't done the cast. So, yeah, Hal and Bill are played by Theo James as an adult and Christian Convery as a kid. His mum Lois is played by Tatiana Maslany, who I was looking at her and I'm thinking, I recognize you. Who are you? What's the name? Because I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But yeah, Tatiana Maslany. Okay, so as an adult, Hal's got a kid called Petey, who's played by Colin O'Brien. Yeah, we got Aunt Ida, played by Sarah Levy. Uncle Chip was played by Osgood Perkins. We got Barbara, I think Barbara was the realtor, yeah, played by Tess Degenstein. Danica Drewer is the babysitter Annie. You got Florence, played by Beatrix Perkins. Lieutenant Pepper, the police officer, played by Kingston Chan. There's Dwayne, played by Zia Newton. The priest, played by Nico Del Rio. The pawn shop owner, played by Shafin Karim. Another police officer is played by Lumen Beltran. Okay, so Petey's mum is played by Laura Manel. And her new beau is Ted, played by Elijah Wood. There's Ricky, played by Rowan Campbell. Who else do we have? The woman diving into the pool, played by Corin Clark. Bert Bergerson, played by Scott Nicholson. Nancy Rizzoli, played by Katie Stewart. Oh, the Hitachi chef, man, played by Michael Anthony Somoza. I think they're probably our main people, right? They're our main people. So, yeah, man, like, there's this music that plays constantly throughout the film, right? Which kind of signifies the monkey. And it's really fucking creepy, right? It's really creepy. And I thought that was so well done. You know what I mean? Because it's just that trigger, that emotional trigger that you're like, oh, fuck. As soon as you hear those notes, you are on edge, right? You are just on edge. Now, I haven't read the short story in which this is based upon. You know, I think the short story is called Skeleton Crew. Came out in 1980. You know what I mean? But it's maniacal. You know what I mean? It's like, it's completely different to Longlegs, because the way Longlegs was done, there was a realism in the interactions and everything. It's kind of like this satire. You know what I mean? It's not a satire, but people interact in this kind of weird, gregarious fashion. You know what I mean? It's not quite how people actually do things. It's a little OTT, you know? But for what this is, it works so well, right? Because then we can have these insane deaths, you know, because the film is so, you know, preposterous, right? I probably pronounced that wrongly, but you know what I'm saying, people, right? And yeah, the deaths are crazy. Like, starting from the beginning, we've got the pawn. I don't know what kind of, if you call it a pawn shop, a collector's shop, but the death in there just kind of sets the tone for everything. All right, now there were these. There's this couple behind me. I don't know if they were friends or if they were dating. I don't know. They were irritating as fuck, right? Oh God, the voices. Their voices just grated. At the end of the film, they just heard the guy go, I didn't get the pawn shop scene at the beginning. I mean, why did we see that guy? Because that's the dad, motherfuckers, right? That's setting how all of this started, right? That is Bill and Hal's dad. You know, so we see that to kind of set everything up. Hal narrates the film at the beginning, and towards the end we get narration from Bill. You know what I mean? And I think the way they distinguish those two, that was done well. You know? That was done very well. But yeah, it's this whole kind of thing about this monkey curse. And you just think, how can this work, right? How can this work? But yeah, they made, you know what I mean? Because you bought into the way this curse kind of worked, right? You bought into that and everything about it. So I think when we get, towards the end, you were just like, fucking hell, this is nuts. And it felt very fitting the way it kind of, all pulled together. But it's just like, yeah, I enjoyed it, man. I laughed so hard. The deaths were funny as fuck, man. I'm not sure if everyone in the cinema appreciated me laughing, but I don't give a fuck. I enjoyed the fuck out of myself, man. I didn't find it scary, but god damn, there's some creepy ass moments. And I jumped a good few times. Oh man, I jumped a good few times. Even when sometimes you're thinking, I think something's gonna happen, right? And then it happens and you're like, it's just like, shit. But man, yeah, this was so enjoyable. As I said, the score worked really well, right? And the way the deaths were all framed, right? The effects, right? Ed and his people did a superb job with the VFX, because it was like manic. It was crazy. It was visceral. But everything had this kind of little unique twist to it. The way, you know, it's the way they were all shot. It just worked. It just worked as an enjoyable film. I've heard people kind of put it in the same category as a Final Destination, and I guess, when it's a film with multiple people dying, right, and you're doing all of these crazy deaths and everything like that. I think I thought the first Final Destination was I didn't really enjoy the next one, but this I just thought was, I think just because it's about these twin brothers, right? It's about trying to protect your loved ones in effect, and how saying certain things, you gotta watch what you say. It's like that thing you're told as a kid, right? And you might say some crazy shit, right? Ah, man, hope Jimmy dies. And your parent be like, what? You should not say that. And we're like, what? I mean, I don't really hope Jimmy dies. But it's just like, if you put that shit out in the world, what might happen? And this film is the manifestation of that, right? So, I thought the acting works very well. There's like with the script, right, and the dialogue and the communications, there is a over the topness to it, but it's not over the top. It's not like when you see those films and people are just hamming it up and it's so bad, right? This one, it's crafted so well that everyone works, right? Because no one's outdoing each other, right? Everyone has hit that right level, right? Hit that right level, man. So yeah, man, if you like a good jump scare flick, right? If you enjoy Stephen King adaptations, if you like Osgood Perkins' work, then people, you will enjoy The Monkey. You will enjoy The Monkey. It is out on Friday nationwide. So, people, go to the cinema and enjoy yourselves, right? Enjoy yourselves. It even ends in a way where you're like, I wonder what the fuck happens next. You know what I mean? Like, where do you go from here? What's the kind of life's gonna be like? What, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, you could spin it, right? You could spin it. There's definitely stuff that's kind of gone unanswered. Where you're like, yeah, what is the origin of, right? What would that, so yeah, there could be more, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, go check out The Monkey. You will not be disappointed. All right? Peace.